Hi, this is Carlos Cousins, and the following literary narrative question is asking why something happens in the narrative. They're not giving you a line number, so you have to go back and try to remember where it happens. Now, we do know a couple things about the passage straight on. We're talking about just the setting in the entirety of the first paragraph. If you go through here, they don't mention the man or the woman as they're first introduced, or Simon and Eleanor. Right? And the first mention happens here in the second paragraph. So hopefully you remember that much. And when they're talking about the man here, it looks like they're referring to Simon. It says he was about 6 inches in front of the woman, strolling carelessly, while she bore on with greater purpose. And then here around line 23 or so, it says that, or 22, he kept his distance in front of the woman purposely. So he was walking ahead on purpose, though perhaps unconsciously. Okay, well, maybe not necessarily on purpose, but with purpose, for he wished to go on with his thoughts. So it looks like he wanted some space to think, perhaps unconsciously, and that's why he was walking ahead. So usually for this type of question, the first mention of whatever you're looking for, whether it's a word or an event in the passage, is what they're going to ask the question about. So go from the beginning, try to remember where that happens. First mention of that, go through the question, try to figure it out. Let's go ahead and consider these together. So, Mr. A says he wants some space to continue to reflect. Well, if we're saying here that he wishes to go on with his thoughts, that sounds a little bit like reflecting. When you're reflecting, you're, going on with your thoughts a little bit. You're considering your thoughts. So this looks like a really good one here. He's getting away from his family in order to reflect. Let's see if we find something better. He's upset by her earlier rejection of him. We don't know that she rejected him anywhere. So far, all we've discussed is the setting, and the fact that they're a little bit apart from each other. So this hasn't happened yet. He is chasing after a dragonfly up ahead. No mention of a dragonfly at all. Actually, the only insect that's mentioned here, I guess, is a butterfly. So the dragonfly is going to come a little bit after. We can go ahead and get rid of that. And then the last one, he is bothered, it looks like, by Eleanor's slow pace of walking through the gardens. Not necessarily. You could assume that in that she is walking a little bit slower, right? She's behind. Though it does say that she's walking, what does it say here? He's strolling carelessly while she bore on with greater purpose, boring on though. She's going a little bit slower. That doesn't necessarily mean that he's ahead because of the slow pace. It simply means that she is walking at a lower pace. So the because here is unnecessary. That would be an assumption. He's not necessarily bothered by the slow pace. She's simply walking at a slow pace. So don't assume anything for the test. Unless the text explicitly says this, we don't know. So we can go ahead and get rid of that. And then that leaves answer choice A then as the best answer choice. I hope that helped with this question, and happy prepping.